Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the most interesting news in the world. What are we talking about today? Well, today we're talking about poverty because Gary Douglas and Simone Milasas did a creative edge of consciousness call where they actually talked about poverty. And one of the things Gary brought up was making people relevant in your life that aren't. And this being a major contributor to the poverty that you've chosen in your life. Now, you might be sitting there going, Connor, but I'm not in poverty. Everyone has their own level of poverty. Maybe it's you have $1,000 in the bank. And you're like, I'm poverty stricken. Maybe you're $1,000 in debt, and that's when you feel poverty stricken, whatever it might be. We're actually going to look at the definition of the word poverty here real quick, because I looked it up during the call and it just blew me away. This is the etymology from Etym Online. Poverty is a strong word, and this comes from the Century Dictionary, which is over 100 years old. Poverty is a strong word, stronger than being poor. Want is still stronger than both of those. Wow. Indicating that one has not even the necessaries of life. Indigence is often stronger than want. Wow. Implying especially also the lack of those things to which one has been used and that befit one's situation. Penury is poverty that is severe to abjectness. Destitution, state of having absolutely nothing. Ooh, so all of those, everything that brings up for all of you. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? I realize a lot of you won't. Right and wrong, good and bad, puck and pot, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. I realize that most of the people on the planet that have poverty and are functioning from poverty, including myself, this is basically why I'm talking about this tonight, is because I too have a level of where I'm functioning from poverty. And the number one thing I personally notice that people function from with regards to poverty is they don't have choice. So how many of you have decided you don't have choice with poverty, and how many of you aren't willing to let it go? I get it. You're not willing to let it go. Just notice maybe 5, 10, 20 years from now, maybe never, you'll realize, wow, holy cow, it is just a choice. I don't have to function from that point of view, that I have this poverty and that there's nothing I can do about it. What if all you had to do was change your point of view? So, whew, now, the thing I must add to this, if you have not heard about it, because I should say, because I luckily, because I'm not poverty stricken, was the narrator for the How to Become Money workbook. And in that book, Gary talks about how the word want, and you can look this up yourself, prior to 1940 meant to lack. There's like 17 definitions. So you can look it up yourself. Might be a little difficult to find it on the internet, but if you find yourself an old dictionary, excuse me, ooh, I'm like about to sneeze. I'm clipped. Yeehaw. So, that was great. Ooh, I lost all my train of thought. So, poverty. Wow. So, how many relationships and how many people in your life are you making relevant that don't need to be relevant and that actually aren't? Cool. If you were, what would it create in your life in your future if you were willing to let those people go, and if you're willing to let those people hold on to their poverty? Oh, I mean, like, how much poverty do you have because of the poverty that other people are choosing? Whoa. Oh man, I can just feel it. Everybody is just turning over. Like, we're supposed to feel so bad for people that are in poverty, and everybody feels so bad because of poverty. And I get that everybody's looking at me going, well, you're blah, 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 blah. Hey, I'm really just doing this too because one of the things that I've personally discovered is that the only way to go beyond anything and change anything is choice and asking questions like, what is this? What can I do with it? Can I change it? If so, how can I change it? So do you get that you can, so if you look at your own poverty, What is it? What can you do with it? Can you change it? If so, how do you change it? If you let go of your point of view, will that change it? If you make a different choice, will that be a different choice? And that can not even change it. It'll just be different. Cool. Can you change it for somebody else? Maybe only by choosing it yourself and being like, look at me go. Someone else sees you and goes, wow, holy cow, I didn't know you could do that. Or I'd like to have that too. So, wow. So let's do this if you're willing. I don't know why I'm doing this. I feel like I shouldn't be doing this. So I'm going to do it anyway. Is everything you've aligned and agreed with or resisted and reacted to that creates poverty. Whew. Will you let it all go now? Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Time is a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, football, call, nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. So I shouldn't be giving these things away for free. Shouldn't be doing this for free. That's going to make me poverty stricken. All right. So if you really actually want to dive deeper on this thing, I highly suggest you get on the creative edge of consciousness. I do believe you can. You might be able to. You have to look into this yourself. You might be able to actually purchase some of the old calls. At some point, they do go on sale. At least they did in the past. I can't believe if we're doing that anymore. I don't recall if we're doing that anymore. And actually, with what I like to do with this show, I'd actually like to talk a little bit also about the future, some stuff that's going on, but I really had to talk about that. That's so good. Some of the things that are going on right now, well, things are changing very fast, and things have been changing very fast over the course of the last 12 months. A lot of people are rolling over in their graves and trying to dig them deeper. Oh, yeah. What do I mean by that? Well, personalities. And you got to get on something. Dana's talked about personality, and I say something because if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling resistant to a lot of things, if you're feeling you got to go back to some past way in which you lived, this is personalities. So Dana's talked about it on the last 15 billion calls he's done. I have been listening to those like crazy because these personality things are rampant. Hooey, hooey, hooey. Get out there and get yourself to work. So what are some of the things coming up? I wish I could remember. I guess I could pull up my calendar. That would be a really smart thing to do, yeah. I know there's some cool things coming up. We've got Dane has started a body whispering book club. That is for free. I highly suggest you jump on some of that. I doubt he's gonna. Oh wait, no, he will most likely talk about a little bit about personalities because there's even a brand new body process to go along with melting these personalities because these things are insidious. We have body whispering was. My little calendar setup here is not spectacular. I can feel some people like, you should be more prepared for these. Yeah, I'm not a news anchor. I'm just here for the most interesting news in the world. We have an ESB in Washington, D.C. Dane's going to be doing an ESB in Washington, D.C. It's also live streamed. Wow. Very cool. For those of you that are Turkish, oh my goodness, there is a Turkish something coming up at some point. There's a CFP, Choice for Possibilities, in Mexico at the beginning of July with Kalpana, Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider with Gary Douglas and Allison in Cox in Denver. We've got I know there's something I'm looking for specifically. I don't even remember what it is. advanced body class in Mumbai, India. There it is. I have an idea. There we go. Better idea. That actually did a lot what we did earlier. So everywhere you're aligning and agreeing or resisting and reacting to poverty, need, want, destitution, pernurium, pernurity, penury. We destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, public, all night, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Ouch. Let's do that again. So everywhere you're aligning and agreeing or resisting and reacting to poverty, poor, want, need, indigence, penury, destitution. Will you destroy and uncreate all that times a godzillion? Will you let all of that resistance, all of that alignment and agreement, all of that reaction to it, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, public, online, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And if you're just joining, why are we doing that? Well, every time you align and agree with something, every time you resist or react to it, you make it real. So what we're doing is unmaking it real to the best of our ability. So everywhere you've aligned and agreed with poverty or resisted and reacted to it, everywhere you've aligned and agreed with being poor or resisted and reacted to being poor, everywhere you've aligned and agreed with want or resisted and reacted to want, everywhere you've aligned and agreed with that word is tough for me. Indigence. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Everywhere you've aligned and agreed with penury. That one's also difficult for me. Apparently I can't say them because maybe I'm in so much resistance and reaction to them. Wow. Which means I align and agree with them already. And everywhere you align and agree with and resist and react to destitution, we destroy and uncreate all that. Oh man, there's like, this is kind of like making my body feel really weird. Right, wrong, good, bad, public, all night, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Very uncomfortable, I should say. Whew. Oh my goodness. Don't do this at home, folks. Warning, this is being done by a professional. So everywhere you've aligned and agreed with or resisted and reacted to poverty, being poor, want, indigence, penury, destitution, need. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pocket pot, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. I'm sorry, I just shook the camera. It's because I'm needy. I'm so poverty stricken. Oof, oof. Doesn't that one just tug on you? Someone's like, I'm so poverty stricken. You're like, I have to give up everything I have for you. Or you're like, oh my God, get away. I want to step on you. Ooh, yowza. Everywhere you're aligning and agreeing or resisting and reacting to poverty, being poor, want, need, indigence, penury, destitution. Will you destroy and uncreate it all? Times a godzillion. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. Oh my God, it's actually kind of getting lighter. Everything you've done to align and agree with poverty, or resist and react to poverty, or align and agree with being poor, or resist and react to being poor, or align and agree with want, or resist and react to want, or align and agree with indigence, or resist and react to indigence, or align and agree with penury, or resist and react to penury, or align and agree with destitution, or resist and react to destitution. Will you destroy and uncreate all that shit times a godzillion? Right, wrong, good, bad, public, all night, shorts, boys, poveds, and beyond. So I've started a new series of videos that I'm leaking into Instagram and YouTube and even on LinkedIn that is called Access Life Hacks in 60 Seconds. So I'm giving out a lot of tools in 60 seconds. And one tool I haven't done yet that I will be doing is, instead of saying I want money, say I don't want money. And a lot of people are going to have a very difficult time doing that because they're like, no, I want money. But the real definition of the word want is to lack. So you're saying, I lack money. When you say, I want money, I lack money, I lack money. And you will create your reality based on your point of view. I'm sorry, your point of view creates your reality. Your reality does not create your point of view because you're going, I want money. And that's what's happening. Not, it's already there and now you have it. And you're like, and you can sit there and fight for the rightness of your point of view all you want. But Connor, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? This isn't a chicken or the egg story. This is, you've been doing this for your whole life and even longer than that. And all I'm saying is maybe try it the other way around and see if something different shows up. I have, and it does, which is why I'm sitting here talking about it. So you probably shouldn't try it. In fact, you know what? Don't. I'm sure it will never work for you. So everywhere you've aligned and agreed with poverty or resisted and reacted to poverty, everywhere you've aligned and agreed with being poor or resisted and reacted to being poor, everywhere you've aligned and agreed with want or resisted and reacted to want, everywhere you've aligned and agreed with indigence, and resisted and reacted to indigence, everywhere you've aligned and agreed with penury or resisted and reacted to penury, everywhere you've aligned and agreed with destitution or resisted and reacted to destitution, everywhere you've aligned and agreed with need or resisted and reacted to need, and everything that allows those to exist as a reality for you, will you fucking destroy and not create it all right now, right, wrong, good, bad, part, bark, all night, shorts, boys, that's and beyonds. Holy gosh darn, this is wild. Well, folks, we've been here for a good amount of time, and you know what? I think we did it. I think we've at least cracked the shell ever so slightly of this, of a little bit of this poverty thing. Would you be willing to change your point of view? You don't actually have to. I don't really care. I'm changing mine. I ain't having poverty. I ain't doing poverty. I've never actually been very good about it, but I am realizing how much I have aligned and agreed with it and resisted and reacted to it. Same with being poor, same with need and want and destitution and indigence and penury. All of that shit times the Godzilla would destroy and uncreate it all. Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, on and shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Wow. I don't know about you, but I feel better. And when I say feel, I do mean I feel better. Like my body feels like I've taken some shackles off and I can take deeper and bigger breaths. Wow. How does it get any better than that? I hope this contributed to some of you. I hope this contributed to all of you. Go to go to accessconsciousness.com if you'd like to find out more information about these classes I talked about here, or finding any classes in the past that you'd like to purchase. And if you're like, Connor, this is just a sales statement. Yeah. Have you ever watched television and not gotten sales statements? I mean, come on, honey. If you ain't getting out and selling yourself or selling something like hot dogs or tacos, maybe it's time to start selling something. Maybe it's time to let go of poverty and go, you know what? I'm not going to be poverty stricken. I wonder what I can sell to others. I wonder what I got. I wonder what abilities and capacities and things I can do and things I have and things I know that others might pay me for. Others might give me some money. Everything that brought up for all of you. And if you'd like more information on the clearing statement, please go to theclearingstatement.com. Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD all nine, shorts, boys, POVEDs, and beyonds. I thank you very much and good night. See you next time on the most interesting news in the world with your host, Connor Hill.